So I saw WrestleMania 30. Is this a Daniel Bryan shirt? Yes. Hi everyone, I'm Brandon Prosick and this is the Soy Sauce Show. My first review for the WWE pay-per-views is going to be the granddaddy of them all, the showcase of the immortals, the Super Bowl of wrestling, WrestleMania 30. I'm going to be doing things a little bit different than my film and TV reviews. Instead of going just the goods and the bads and then my overall analysis, I'm just going to go match by match and give each one a little bit of time just so I don't miss anything and I can talk about the goods and the bads of each segment. WWE decided to kick off the pay-per-view with the Triple H versus Daniel Bryan match. The winner getting thrust into the main event spot for a triple threat match versus Batista and the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton. A lot of people thought this was pretty simple bet, you know, Daniel Bryan was going to win and end up in the main event, but I was looking for a bit more of a swerve. I was hoping that some sort of, you know, shenanigans would happen and that there'd be a double count out or something like that, and that way, you know, it'd be a fatal four-way in the main event and we could see, you know, Daniel Bryan really have his moment with both Batista, Randy Orton, and Triple H all in the match at once. As for this match, the crowd was hot. The crowd loved it. And, you know, I was into it too. You know, it was very back and forth. But I was a little surprised that this kicked off the show. I was a bit hoping that, you know, Triple H and Daniel Bryan would kind of be towards the end. And that way, you know, what bigger underdog moment would it be if Daniel Bryan would have to wrestle, you know, a 20-minute match with Triple H, and then out comes Randy Orton, out comes Batista. Oh, bam, you're in the main event right now. This was one of the highlights of the show. Probably one of the one of the matches of the night. Let's move on to our second match. Oh, you didn't know? Out comes the New Age Outlaws, and before they even get to the ring, all of a sudden out comes the Shield, and then out comes Kane. Kind of rushed, you know. I think they realized, they looked at the clock and they're like, "Oh shit, we are almost an hour and a half in, and we've only had one match. We need to get this going a little bit, guys." I'm pretty sure they all got to the, I'm pretty sure 6 men got to the ring quicker than Triple H's entrance was. I almost blinked and I almost missed this match. It was about a 3-minute match, and the Shield, yeah, they dominated. There was no breakup between those. They are going strong. I think they're going to get, they're going to stay together for a few more months. Shield given 3 minutes. Next match is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This needed to go to a young superstar who really needs a push coming into the summer here, where WWE likes to push young talents. So we get down to the final 4, and we had Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Big Show, and Cesaro. I personally was pulling for Ziggler. I wanted Ziggler to get the win. You know, he's been kind of a rut lately. But if it had to go to anyone else but Ziggler, I wanted it to go to Cesaro. That power slam on Big Show over the top rope, even my girlfriend, who doesn't even really watch wrestling unless I make her, was like, holy shit, that was awesome. It was a great nod to the power slam back at WrestleMania 3 with Andre and Hulk. I am ready for Cesaro's push. I've been ready. I hope he's going to break away from the Real Americans, and, you know, maybe he can keep Zeb Coulter, maybe pick up someone else as a manager, and keep this thing going. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. A lot of people shocked that John Cena went from being all these main events, you know, these matches with The Rock, these matches, and now he's facing Bray Wyatt in the mid-card. This is exactly what John Cena should be doing. He's becoming a name that, like Triple H, like Undertaker, like Shawn Michaels, you want to face at WrestleMania. Why not put him in with some young talent that needs the push? Why not? But the problem was, God, the biggest thing about this was, I think WWE should have given Bray Wyatt the win. Because let's look at the two sides of things. We have John Cena, who is a Hall of Famer the day he retires. You know, a loss would do nothing. Look, he lost to Miz at WrestleMania 27, and where's the Miz right now? Who the f*** knows? John Cena will not be touched by a loss. And then we have Bray Wyatt. Why not give him the win? Have John Cena get his revenge at the Extreme Rules. It just doesn't make sense. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just there. I realized, I was like, we have almost 2 hours left, and we only have the Undertaker-Brock match, the Divas match, and the main event. I was like, what is WWE going to do? Are they going to have some, you know, more kind of like legend segments, some nods, some cameos or something to kind of fill in this gap? No, it's just, you know, Undertaker taking his sweet-ass time to get to the ring. No offense, I know he is one of the greatest of all time. A lot of his matches are some of my favorite matches of all time. but god damn it, does it bug the hell out of me they take so long to get to the ring. He started coming out. My girlfriend went, took out the trash, started making some pound cake, did this, did that. She came back and she was like, is he still coming to the ring? Yeah. So personally, I thought this, this match can go one of two ways. Either it can prove me wrong and be a very brutal contest, or it could be boring as hell. It was boring as hell. Paul Heyman couldn't save this match. I think what they needed in this match, unfortunately, what Undertaker's needed sometimes over the past few years, they needed a no disqualification rule. They needed no holds barred. They needed extreme rules, whatever you want to call it. They needed chairs, they needed tables, they needed trash cans, whatever. Help fill in the gaps, but don't try to mosey around and act like you're still in your prime, guys. It's sounding like I'm hating, but that's because I'm getting to my next point. This next segment is going to be kind of a rant segment. I'm going to call it, let me get this straight. Alright guys, rant over. I'm sorry about that. I had to get that out. I had to get that off my chest. I've been so pissed off about it. Let's talk about the next match. Alright, we had the Vicky Guerrero Divas Championship Invitational and... what time is it? Oh look, it's over. AJ won. Great. Let's move on to the main event. The triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And you know what? These guys put on a pretty good match. You know, a lot of people love to give Batista and Randy Orton shit saying they can't put on good matches. They did it. That spot with the Batista bomb into the RKO on the announce table, that was pretty well crafted. I loved that. You could just feel it the whole match. Every time they shoved Bryan aside and you thought he was out, every time, Triple H and Stephanie came to interfere, every time Batista and Orton was double teaming on Daniel Bryan, you're like, no, he's not going to do it. But deep down we knew, yes. Batista gives a Batista bomb to Orton. He rolls out of the ring. In comes Bryan. Running knee into the submission hold, the lapel lock, the yes lock if you will, and tap, tap, tap. I'm sure a lot of you have been pent up ever since SummerSlam. Take a deep breath. Daniel Bryan is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Sure, he can be stripped of it tomorrow, but that moment where the confetti was falling and you just, the whole 75,000 Silver Dome, I know it's the Superdome, just give him Hulk Hogan shit again, was going, yes. Finally, ever since Eddie Guerrero and he who should not be named, Chris Benoit, hugged it out at WrestleMania 20 with the confetti falling, I was waiting for a real moment like that, and we had it. Daniel Bryan winning the championship. God, it's been a long road. We've had some pay-per-views, we've had some screwings, we had the controversial Royal Rumble this year, but in the end, yes fans, it did happen. There wasn't some big conspiracy. It was all a storyline. And Daniel Bryan is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I'm just hoping that they ride this for a few months before they take the belts off him. Don't just screw him right away or it's going to be like you kick the legs out from under us. Just let him have his moment until Money in the Bank. What's that, a few months away? Overall, how did I feel about this WrestleMania? I'll be honest. The Undertaker Brock Lesnar situation, the streak dying, it left a sour taste in my mouth. I had to go get another beer. But you know what? Let's look at the positive side of things. Let's try not to dwell on this whole streak thing. Let's worry about Daniel Bryan as the champion, and he's here to stay, hopefully. So happy to see that the WWE Network didn't screw up. I was so worried the whole time that any moment it could just stop. So anyway, what did you guys think? Be sure to comment below, let me know. I would love to discuss this with you guys. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter's right there. And the button right below that, you can hit subscribe to the YouTube page. That would be great. That way you can check out my stand-up, my sketch comedy, my other TV show and film reviews. Alright, just like that, WrestleMania 30 is in the record books, so is this review. Be sure to check out some of my other stuff. Thanks for coming, I'm Brandon Prosek, and now you saw the Soy Sauce Show. Yes.